I've learned more in the last 18 months about addiction than I ever cared to know, and we are very similar to what we've discovered from many other communities, where the nature of the problem seems to be the dependence from the medical community on opioid-based pain medications. As Dr. Restrepo from Valley Health, who we work quite closely with, explained, a number of years ago, they started asking not only about breathing and circulation, but they also asked about pain and how are you managing the pain. And from that, doctors began to be very aggressive in trying to manage patients' pains by offering them opioid-based prescriptions. Without giving people adequate warnings about the addictive nature of these drugs. And so people were becoming hooked. As a result, the pharmaceutical companies reformulated OxyContin and oxycodone and all those oxy-based or opioid-based drugs and made them more difficult to abuse. And on the other side of the equation, heroin was becoming more readily available and cheaper because Mexican cartels had switched from marijuana production to heroin production. We were more involved in the Middle East, so there was a lot more opportunities to transport heroin into the country. So heroin was actually becoming easier and cheaper to abuse than these prescription-based opioids. And so, people switch from prescription drugs to heroin, and that's how the problems kind of become what it is.
Heroin kind of slows down your body process anyway, and fentanyl is a very strong painkiller, so it kind of like slows your heartbeat and your breathing down to almost nothing. With that on top of the heroin, people just expire because their heart stop beating and their lungs stop functioning. And unfortunately on the streets, if you have a heroin out there that overdoses and kills somebody, for some strange reason more people want it. So that makes the popularity of heroin go up now, and it's surpassing heroin is surpassing cocaine and crack.
Heroin is just the latest drug du jour, if you will. If you do your research, you'll find that, and throughout my experience in law enforcement, you'll find that a drug epidemic lasts about 5 years, and then there'll be a new drug of choice. I spent most of my time in Baltimore County with the Baltimore County Police Department. When we started out with heroin being prevalent there, then it switched to kind of PCP, cocaine, crack cocaine, and now we've kind of come back to heroin again.